Hey there, book lovers. Welcome back to WisdomWaves, where we dive into the heart of the best books and bring you quick, powerful summaries in just minutes. Today, we are talking about a book that dives deep into just that. It's called The Lost Chapter by Caroline Bishop. This book is like a warm hug and a gentle push all at once. It's a captivating blend of historical fiction and contemporary women's fiction that tells a beautiful story about friendship, secrets, and finding your true self, no matter how much time has passed. Trust me, it's a story that will make you think about your own lost chapters. Let's chat a little about the amazing author, Caroline Bishop. She grew up in the UK, but her journey actually took her to France, specifically Lyon, where she studied languages for a year. This real-life experience clearly influenced her writing, as she sets a significant part of the lost chapter in a finishing school in Lyon. After a decade working in London, she moved to Lausanne, Switzerland, and now works as a freelance copywriter and journalist. The Lost Chapter is her second novel. You can tell from her writing that she's someone who appreciates the power of creative expression. In her acknowledgements, she even shares that her own experience with lino printing, a craft featured in the book, helped her mental well-being during difficult times. So, when you read her books, you get this sense of a writer who pours her heart into stories that are not only entertaining but also meaningful and deeply human. This book has some truly unforgettable characters, each on their own special journey. Time's Flow, Florence Carter. Imagine a spunky, 80-year-old artist who loves printmaking. Flo seems perfectly content, but she's been carrying a massive secret and a load of guilt for over 60 years. She lived a life shaped by what she believed was a terrible mistake, and we see her slowly learn to confront that past. She's the kind of person who, despite being quiet and reserved in her youth, finds incredible courage later in life. Time's Lily, Eleanor Leigh Cranshaw. She's the author of the book that shakes Flo's world. In the past, Lily is a vibrant, adventurous 17-year-old American sent to a French finishing school. She's a free spirit, someone who refuses to be boxed in by other people's expectations, and she inspires everyone around her, especially Flo. Lily is all about seizing the day and pushing boundaries. Time's Elise, our young, 18-year-old character in the present day. Elise is carrying a heavy burden of anxiety and grief after losing her best friend, Ella. She feels different, struggles to fit in, and believes she's responsible for a terrible accident. Her journey is all about finding her own voice and her own path through her passion for art. Time's Carla, Elise's mom. Carla is a loving but very worried mother, especially after everything Elise has been through. She's also dealing with her own life changes, including losing her job. Her story is about learning to let go and trust both her daughter and herself. Time's Ella, Elise's best friend who passed away. Though we only meet her through Elise's memories, Ella's presence is deeply felt, and her death is a central piece of Elise's healing journey. The Lost Chapter takes us on a fascinating adventure through to different times and places. Time's the past. A big part of the story happens in Lyon, France, in the late 1950s. We get to experience life at Château-Mont-d'Or, a strict finishing school where young women were taught how to be proper ladies for society. Think etiquette, flower arranging, and planning formal dinners, not exactly the adventurous life Lily dreamed of. This setting really highlights the expectations placed on women during that era. Time's the present. We also spend time in a charming but quite small town in the UK where Flo lives. It's a contrast to the bustling Lyon of the past, creating a sense of both comfort and, at times, stagnation for our characters. The journey then takes us on a road trip through France, revisiting places from Flo and Lily's past, like Paris and Avignon. The core idea, the big concept, behind this book is about how our past catches up with us, and how facing old secrets can set us free. It's about the ripple effect of our choices, whether we are 18 or 80, and the courage it takes to live authentically, even when the world tells you to be someone else. It's a reminder that even after decades, healing and new beginnings are always possible. This story is beautifully structured, revealing layers of character and plot little by little. Our story begins in the present with Flo, an 80-year-old. One day, she sees a newspaper article about a new book by L.P. Henry, and the author's picture and story suddenly transport her back to 1958. Flo realizes L.P. Henry is actually Lily, her old friend from finishing school. The preview of Lily's book describes something from their past that deeply unsettles Flo, because it reminds her of a dark secret. She believes she killed a man that night. Around the same time, Flo hires Elise, a sweet but very anxious 18-year-old, to walk her dog. Elise is burdened by guilt over the death of her best friend, Ella, 2 years ago, which has made her withdraw from life. We then flash back to 1957. We meet Lily, a confident American girl at a finishing school in Lyon, France, who dreams of freedom. She quickly befriends Frances, Flo, a more timid and obedient English girl. Lily, seeking adventure, starts a secret relationship with a man named Hugo, a relationship that will have huge consequences. In the past, Lily's affair with Hugo is discovered, and she becomes pregnant. Hugo abandons her, but Lily, full of defiance, decides to keep the baby and convinces Flo, to run away with her to start a new life in France. Fran, showing a surprising new strength, agrees. In the present, Flo starts teaching Elise printmaking, which helps Elise find a quiet focus away from her anxieties. Flo sees her younger self in Elise, held back by fear and expectations. To try and help Elise, and to confront her own past, Flo invites Elise and Carla on a spontaneous road trip to France to find Lily. During the trip, Elise has a severe panic attack while trying paragliding, a big step outside her comfort zone, which leads to her finally telling Carla the truth about Ella's death. She accidentally pushed Ella into the path of a car during an argument. This emotional moment starts to heal the rift between Elise and Carla, as Carla also confronts her own overprotection. The journey brings them to Avignon, where they finally find Lily's flower shop, Fleurs de Florence. Flo and Lily have an emotional reunion. Flo reveals her deep guilt, believing she killed Harry all those years ago. But Lily drops a huge bombshell: Harry is actually alive. Lily admits she fictionalized his death in her book for drama and as a bit of revenge. This revelation is incredibly freeing for Flo, lifting decades of perceived guilt and self-punishment. As Flo's burden is lifted, the other characters are inspired. Flo decides to stay in France with Lily for the summer, pursuing her passion for art. She lends her art studio back home to Elise, encouraging her to apply to art school, which Elise bravely decides to do. Carla, too, inspired by the women around her, starts to think about her own new beginnings and possible career changes, like starting a baking business. The book ends with Flo and Lily watching Elise and Carla paraglide together, symbolizing their newfound courage and freedom, proving that it's never too late to live the life you want. This book is rich with important messages and cool symbols. Time's secrets and their weight. A big theme is how keeping secrets, especially painful ones, can weigh you down for a lifetime. Flo's secret about Harry and Ailey's secret about Ella show how these hidden truths can stop you from truly living. Time's fear versus courage. The story constantly shows us how fear can hold us back. Ailey's is paralyzed by fear, and Flo was too, in her youth. But the book is also about finding the courage to push past those fears, to take risks, and to seize the day. Time's societal expectations and freedom. Both Flo and Lily faced strong expectations from their families and society about what women should be. The book celebrates choosing your own path, even if it's different or unconventional. Time's the power of friendship. The bond between Flo and Lily is the heart of the story. It shows how true friends can support each other, even across decades, and help each other heal. Time's art as healing. Printmaking becomes a powerful symbol of healing for both Flo and Ailey's. It's a way to quiet the mind, express oneself, and create something beautiful from nothing. Flo's printmaking process, layer by layer, also symbolize how life builds up and how you need faith to see the final picture. Time's the scar. Ailey's scar on her arm is a constant reminder of her trauma and guilt. It's a physical representation of her hidden pain. Here are two powerful quotes that really stick with you. First, something Flo often says to Ailey's, and something she comes to truly believe herself: things are hardly ever as bad as you fear. Think about that for a second. We spend so much time worrying about what might happen, and often, the reality isn't as scary as our imagination makes it. Flo learns this lesson profoundly when she finds out Harry is alive. It's a message that encourages us to not let fear control our lives. And a powerful line from Lily, reflecting her adventurous spirit: what if it all goes right? This is the opposite of worrying about what could go wrong. It's about embracing possibility and believing in a positive outcome. Lily's whole life is an example of this mindset, and it's what she tries to instill in Flo, and what Flo in turn tries to pass on to Ailey's. It's a rallying cry for optimism and daring to dream big. Friends, now it is time for the lessons and personal takeaway from this books. The Lost Chapter offers so many great lessons for all of us. Don't let your past define you. No matter what happened or what secrets you carry, you have the power to face them and move forward. Forgiveness, especially self-forgiveness, is key to being truly free. Be brave, even when it's scary. Life truly begins outside your comfort zone. Trying new things, standing up for yourself, and making choices that feel right for you, not just what others expect, can lead to the most fulfilling life. Cherish your true connections. The book beautifully shows the power of deep friendships. Having people who truly see and support you, and who you can be honest with, is invaluable. It's never too late for a new beginning. Whether you are 18 or 80, you can always change, grow, and pursue new passions. My personal takeaway is how interconnected we all are, and how much impact we can have on each other's lives, both positively and negatively. But ultimately, the positive connections and the courage to live authentically are what truly matter. So, after hearing all about The Lost Chapter, I want to ask you, what lost chapter in your life are you ready to open, or what new adventure are you ready to paraglide into? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, please give this video a thumbs up, share it with a friend who loves a good story, and don't forget to subscribe for more book reviews and discussions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.